So hi, welcome to our first episode. Yay! So we're launching this episode on International Women's Day. So happy International Women's Day to you, Hazel, and to everybody out there, and especially
Same.
the women, in our
Yeah,
crew,
exactly.
people around us, and the women that we are inspired by, respect, and that we stand. And those are exactly the women that we're gonna talk about today. And
Yeah.
let's start talking.
Oh,
Okay, so Hazel,
yeah.
what's like the female role models in your life that you are totally inspired by?
Four? No, they're five. They're five. They're five role models, and I adore them simply because it's just a lot of girl power in different industries and different little niches in life. So we've got Ariana Huffington, Queen.
Oh, okay.
Um, yeah. Not only did this she co-founded the HuffPost.
Yeah.
Everybody reads at HuffPost. We all know what that is, but she's one of the co-founders, right? But I think what I admire most about her is because she started off as a Republican, and then she became an independent, and then she became a Democrat. And I think that is empowering to me because it shows that no matter what age you are and what stage you are in life, there's always room for progress, and there's always room for growth, and there's always room to kick ass and stick it to the patriarchy. Because the media industry, when we talk about media ownership and like owning all these huge media houses, it's always a man. And to have somebody to say that, oh, she co-founded this huge resource that a lot of us rely on, I think it's amazing. So she's one of my role models. Yeah. Next you. Who's next on your list?
Maybe
Correct.
Otelli Edwards. I like Otelli Edwards.
Mm.
I think she's now with CNA, like Channel News Asia.
Mm.
I quite like
Yeah.
she delivers and presents the news. And oh, actually, I like CMA has this kind sometimes series with Diana Sir. So she goes
Yes.
out into investigative
Oh gosh,
stories.
Diana Sir is like an
Yeah,
icon for Slaney,
right.
right? Like,
It's such an
yeah.
icon. Yeah, so I quite like the way she interprets and to figure out
Mm,
how she interacts with the world. I think that's
yeah.
pretty cool. We don't have a lot of inspo journalists in our
I
country.
know, right?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you've got your Christian Amanpour and you've got all of that, but it is a very limited pool.
Let's talk about okay, um, the people around us first. Yeah. So like family and friends. I was thinking about this, and I just want to keep this pretty short because I think you guys know that you guys influence me a lot in all the ways. I would say
Oh,
families. Let's start with families would be like my three sisters and my mom. Like even the ups and downs, the ebbs and the flows that we go through. I think they are definitely my first few role models that I look up to as I grow up. But at a certain junction, you kind of like separate yourself and trying to form your own identity. But I
mm-hmm.
do know that family, or in that sense, like my sisters and my mom's role, kind of influenced me how I'm going
Yeah.
to take my next step. I
Mm-hmm.
think that's one. And then in terms of friends, I mean, I do pick my friends very, very selectively, and I
Yep.
mean, I'm friends with most
Agreed.
people, but right,
Agreed.
yeah,
Yeah.
I think, yeah, and you know this too, like the friends that I carry through my life, are really important to me because there's this thing that says that you are the five people that you surround yourself with the most. Yeah, so I feel like,
Wow. Okay.
yeah. Oh, you've not heard that before?
No, I've
Yeah.
not. Because then the five people around me, we're all a little insane. I love it.
Oh, it could be. Yeah.
We're all fun. Okay, let's not say insane. I don't like that word. But we're all very fun people. So yeah, all right. All right, all right, all right.
Nice, nice comeback. Nice. They won't be hearing. They won't be listening
Please,
or watching this.
please,
So,
sure.
but then I think I've been very, very honored and privileged to be making new friends in Sydney, and I think in Sydney it's a different kind of way of interacting
Right?
because coming as a foreigner, you know
Yeah.
it's a totally different situation as you are a citizen in a country. I
Yeah.
think really, really interesting characters and friends along the way, and I think a lot of the friends that inspire me are definitely the friends at work that I have. So basically at the moment I'm working in a non-profit company, and that's the best place to see really driven and passionate individuals. And I want to do a shout out to my friend Assala. I'm
Mm-hmm.
sure she's gonna listen to this. So Assala, she's a Palestinian, but she's also Australian. She also started kind of like a digital series like us. It's called Hawayati, whereby she's trying to raise awareness on Palestine. And I think one of the incident that happened at work that kind of shook both of us, I think affected her more, was that, okay, story time, yeah. So like my company, we were asked to do like a training like for like first aid, yeah. So like in Australia you need to offer your details, like your country of origin or your date of birth. And
Right.
it's interesting because some people don't have that information, and she was
Yeah.
one of that person. Like she was looking through her country of origin, which is supposed to be Palestine, and how devastating it is to not see it listed in a whole list of countries of the world. Essentially her country, or
Yeah.
the country
Yeah.
that she was born in, like was completely removed from the face of earth, and it's not even seen on Google Maps. And I thought like, wow, like if I would ever have to go through that situation, it would mess me up. And just as a
Good.
simple privilege of having to being able to select a country from a list, that is
Mm-hmm.
often overlooked. I think for her, it's
Mm-hmm.
just the reality that shit, now I have to pick a country that I don't belong to or I'm not
Yeah.
born in. And the country that she had to pick was Israel. So yeah,
Oh God.
it was the closest
That's
um
tough.
geographically like
Yeah.
located country that she had to pick,
Correct. Closest thing. Yeah. I
because
mean,
she can't put Australia.
closest thing geographically, but not even remotely close in any sense of the word, right?
Yeah. So I thought that incident was a real gut wrenching moment that I had to be there for my friend and had to witness her having to stomach this reality that not many of us have to go
Yeah.
through, but she had to do that. And alhamdulillah, and good thing is that she was able to stay strong and then have this kind of like movement with her Palestinian friends, and they started this Hawayati. And I'm really excited to see how they are taking the awareness to the next
Yeah.
level. So yeah, so Assala, I hope you're hearing, and
So tough.
mad respect. Okay,
But
back to you, Hazel.
yeah.
Tell us who else.
Hmm.
Um,
Who else do I admire? I admire Rihanna or Rihanna. And I really don't. I really always mispronounce it, and
I
I'm
had
so
the same person in my list too.
yes.
High five.
I high five, virtual high five. But no, I mean the reason I adore her so much is because one, badass business mogul,
Mm.
humongous beauty line, but I also love how inclusive her brands are because we know she's got the Fenty and she's got makeup and skincare and she's got the lingerie and all that good stuff. But
Yeah.
it's very inclusive. And for someone who's on the larger side, it's really hard to find. Okay, so not only am I on the larger side, I'm also brown, and I think a lot of brown girls will know that when we say brown, we don't mean like a single shade of brown everywhere. We are made up of multiple shades of brown, 50 shades of brown, if you will. So to find skincare and to find makeup products or to find clothes even that fit, that are comfortable, that look good, and do not look like tents. Fashion designers, please take note. We don't want to dress like tents. We want nice clothes too, and we're willing to pay for it. Okay, we're willing to pay for it. But to find a brand that does all of these things, that checks all of these boxes, that's badass to me. Because again, it's this mentality of thinking it's not about what I look good in, but what that girl on the street's gonna look good in. And I think that's why I love her so much. And she just gives no shits. Like
Yeah,
to
she's
me,
badass.
yes, to have that
And
attitude.
I think we kind of relate a lot with her because she kind of also came to the scene around our age,
Yeah,
and she
yeah,
came into the scene whereby we're basically teenagers, and we've seen her from Ponder Replay to
Exactly.
like
From Pondering Things
and
to like
then
S&M, and now she's just
like no
you
one
know,
knew that her career would outlast the times that she did. And no one
yeah.
knew at that beginning that she would have an empire, a beauty line. You know what I mean? Like nobody knew, but
And I think, yeah, and I think it's amazing because we live in a day and age where people are always questioning your limits as a woman.
yeah,
If you're a mom, you can't be a CEO. If you're a CEO, you can't be a mom.
if you're
What
raising
kind of
her,
mom are you? What kind of
that's
woman
what
are you?
yeah,
Exactly. What kind of food do you like? So for her to do all of these things, to check all of these boxes, and to be so,
and slay it.
yes, to slay. That is really the word. To slay it and to have that attitude where she's like, I'm gonna do me. That I think is so inspiring because you wake up, right? And it's always a thing for us where we're bombarded with images of all these perfect women, and she's showing us that it's okay to not be perfect.
Mm.
There are things that can help you feel better and look better, but do it as you and not as something else. So I think Queen Riri,
Yeah, props. Yeah, I had her in my mind too, like musically as well, like in terms of sound and in terms
yeah,
of how she, as a lyricist, how she craft her music. I think I enjoyed listening to her as well.
yeah, exactly.
Speaking of
This is very
music,
what?
speaking of music,
Yes,
the other lady that a woman that I want to talk about is Billie Eilish. Like, girl,
mm,
like out of
no,
nowhere, boom, like she comes in with her brother. And obviously, her brother, helped her to step up. Like a lot of the musical, like,
yeah.
direction would be from her.
And she's being attacked for the way she dresses and how she covers up, and she's been very open about that. And I think that's one of the most important things about being women is that
Mhm.
being able to have these conversations, being able to be honest about all these things to make people say, oh, so I'm not alone in this, like, oh, so she's doing this too. And that's just going to stir more conversation. So yeah, Billie Eilish for the win. Yeah.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think you're right. Like she was going through quite a lot of criticisms, just as
Mm,
any artist would, but because she's much younger, so definitely she's, being attacked for little dumb things by like trolls online or offline. But I mean,
since
she has really good taste with music. Like I can definitely say that probably her style of music is not the kind that you jive to, but it's definitely what I love. So, and
yeah,
I played her album like all throughout when I was in Japan on my own.
yeah.
For a bit, I was like traveling for a week, and I remember listening to her album like every single day, like the whole day. So yeah, that she kept me company basically. She was my buddy in Japan.
So wrong if I didn't sit here and talk about Lizzo.
Oh yes.
Yeah, because okay, and I'm gonna be very honest here. So growing up as a big girl, we get made fun of for everything. We get made fun of for the way we look. We get made fun of for how we walk, how we talk, how we eat. Because I got that a lot in school. Um, we get made fun of for not being good enough to date, right? For the clothes we wear. We get made fun of for so many things. We get made fun of for embracing our bodies, right? Even though the fact is I could do more burpees than you, right? We get made fun of for all of these things. And I think having Lizzo stand up and speak about one, being proud about your body, being comfortable in your own skin, and two, how hard that is because it's a journey for all of us, right? To be able to talk about those things, oh, can I just have tea with Lizzo? Like really, I
She
just like
really owns it, huh? I think she sits also, in the same breath of like Ashley Graham, very body positive woman who
yes,
just own it, but
yes,
it takes a lot of courage and definitely a lot of like breaking barriers and or rather
it just
also playing with the
does.
stereotype but also breaking them. And I think
Yeah,
yeah, power to this woman because
I know,
because of
right?
them, like people of all body types, women or men,
Yeah,
being okay with themselves.
yeah. I don't know if it's about social acceptance per se, but I think it offers a platform for us to one say like, okay, we feel seen, right? Because this is a struggle for all of us. And you'd be surprised at how many issues we all have, that we have identical issues, right? Because like, but I think it's also a platform for people to step up and say, hey, I agree with your message. I don't look like you. I don't speak like you. I'm not sized like you. I don't wear the clothes you do, but I agree with your message and you're giving me that courage to speak up. Because really, if you look at Lizzo's comment section on Instagram, oi, I mean, what? You've got a whole bunch of people celebrating it, and then you've got trolls, and I
They're
cannot.
always there.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to trolls on our
Oh,
end.
yes. Hi guys, we're actually really excited to respond to you as well. So
Please see the X button on the top of your page and exit.
because we're the kind of people who are not afraid to name and shame. So I'm not gonna censor your name when I call you out. So
Okay, let's talk about women leaders or female leaders of the world or leaders that you know of.
can't have this conversation without bringing up Jacinda Ardern because again, she's queen and she slays.
She
But I
is
think
technically queen. Queen of New Zealand. There we say.
yeah, yeah, I again, I think what sets her apart from your everyday politician and from a lot of world leaders is simply the compassion. And this struck me the most during the New Zealand, the mosque shootings, where she essentially just
Yeah.
got down with the people and she was hugging them and empathizing and empathizing is not really the word.
Genuinely empathetic.
Correct. Like
and
connecting with people, right? Like, and she genuinely cares. Like her policies are not okay. Maybe I'm not equipped to talk about policies, but as a person, I think she's just really genuine, right? And I think that's so important. And I think it's a lot. It's a quality that a lot of politicians have forgotten that they were once one of us, if ever, right? But they've also forgotten that their jobs is essentially for the people. We're your bosses, right? And I think a lot of them have forgotten that, but she doesn't strike me as the kind of person who has. And I think it's something that's a very big part of her approach to her job, right?
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Yeah, and she conducts herself really well too. And speaking of Jacinda, there's also like another lady world leader by the name of Sanna Marin.
Yes, I
Yeah,
was thinking of her too. Yes.
she's of Finland. And then we also have like Michelle Obama and one politician that I am truly obsessed with. I am genuinely wanting to chart my path like her or as close to being like her is Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, AOC. She
Dude.
is fire.
Yes.
Like she
Yes.
is fire. I don't know how she get that fire, but it's a kind of grit. It's a kind of drive that only when you have gone through suffering or witnessed sufferings, so
Yeah.
much so that you cannot allow yourself to stop doing what you are doing for the community. I think because she went through all her experiences and her whole life story.
Yeah, like she came from hard stuff, like and she's made like she's tough as nails. And what I love about
Like
AOC the most is well, personality is one because she's fire, right? But also the fact that she's very, very socially connected in the sense that she's always doing this ask me anythings on Instagram, and people ask her sometimes the questions that are actually really simple, but you'd be surprised at how difficult it is to obtain that information. People ask her about taxes, and people ask her about the Green New Deal, and people ask her about the current COVID bailouts and all those stipends and all of that. And she's very happy to like give you a super detailed answer.
Yeah.
Because
I've seen
sometimes when you go on websites, it's really hard to process that information because it's just a lot of text.
also
And
like
really,
credibility, right? Because it's coming from her and you already trust her by now.
like from the horse's mouth, and
about the healthcare or about tax, about all things. Yeah, I know.
Correct.
Food, like
Exactly, and how she's like, currently in Texas, to help out with the whole power cuts and the whole people, all of that. And I sound like an idiot right now, but I think that's amazing, because a lot of people are always just about, oh, it's about my constituents and my people in my jurisdiction or my community, but she's really just sort of, we're here for everyone, so let's do this. And I think,
Yeah.
wow,
She also walks out.
yeah, like if you watch her videos of her questioning people on the floor, you ever seen those? Where she's like asking really complicated questions and all these old men have no answers, right? It's amazing. You should watch it.
Is this the one with her in Parliament?
Yes, but the Senate, I think, for her.
Or when like she calls out on Mark Zuckerberg or Facebook, like she
Yeah.
just drills them, or like the prices of like
Exactly.
medication or HIV. Like I think she really knows how to word herself. And I mean, this is with the support of her team, but I think she delivers it well, and she
Yeah.
seems to know what she's saying.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I don't necessarily agree.
The lineup for the next few episodes. And here's just to close us off. If there's anything else that you wanna add on?
It's International Women's Day, but here's what I think. I think women should be celebrated every day. So don't wait for a specific day to celebrate women. Do it today, do it tomorrow, do it every day.
If like one piece of advice or one piece of advice you've received or have been given, or and is now like wanting to give to others about being a woman?
I think that's very simple. You can look at all your role models, you can have mentors, but ultimately what drives you forward as a woman is you, right? So when you do things in life, when you chart your path, when you decide what you want to do, make sure it's what you want and not what somebody else is telling you to want. That's essentially it about being a woman. Trust your instincts, trust your gut, trust the vibes around you. Be you, right? And don't be ashamed to be you just because some 60-year-old man somewhere once said that a woman is only this. You don't need your role models. You don't need those people around you to tell you how to do you. Just do you. And that wraps up this very special episode of Girl, Let's Talk. So if you like what you're hearing, you want to hear more, and you want to contribute, then you know the drill. Follow us on our socials, share our videos with your friends, like it, subscribe to it, have a conversation with us because we are listening. I promise. Happy International Women's Day.